When my son was young, in middle school, one of my sons, he came home with a book. In the book, he showed me how all the presidents were related. And he was commending me. He said, "Mommy, you're so right. Voting doesn't make sense. Because look at this book I found in the school library." He said, "It shows how all the presidents have been related, even up until now. Even the presidents, or the president at the time, was related to those presidents and the previous president before the book was published." So I just want to share this with you. I decided to find, because I don't have the book any longer. And I believe that the Most High has given me so much information over the years for such a time as this. I just feel like I've always thought to myself that if the Most High blessed you with a level of intelligence, if he blesses you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of any kind, it's not just for you. It has to be because you must share that information. And this is the time. So I'm going to be giving you guys everything that he has poured into me over these 24 years walking with him. So thank you all. And I hope that every single thing that you hear from me is helpful or a confirmation for you. And because when I was first saved, there was a young lady in my life, and the thing that she did was amazing for me. It changed my life forever. She gave me information. She gave me a book, and in that book, it talked about all different kinds of sorcery and witchcraft, and it explained in a story format how this one woman went through life trying all these different sources of different styles of witchcraft, I'll say. And I was involved at the time in one of them, astrology. It was my thing. And my best friend, she would do spells, like she would make spells, love potions, and she would try to get men to fall in love with her. But me, in my ignorance, not knowing the Most High or the Bible like I should have back then, I didn't believe that what she was doing was real. I thought it was a joke. And boy, was I wrong about that. This woman is still in bondage to this day. She never wanted to leave that life behind as I did 24 years ago. But as soon as I found myself and what I was doing in that book, I turned my life around immediately. And I'm ever grateful for that. And I believe that if we know something, we have to speak up. And so this is my time. How all presidents are related to King John. In my attempts to expose the genealogical royal bloodline, the passing of pure blood types as opposed to mere genealogical family tree relation, I came across a researcher from Ancestry.com named Tim Dowling. On his site and reproduced below, Mr. Dowling has connected the trees of all U.S. presidents to the Plantagenet King John circa 1200 A.D. And remember, it should be noted that Americans whose ancestors came from continental Europe in the colonial period and the 19th century are unlikely to easily delineate descent from Charlemagne in their background. There was a separation of classes in Europe, and the blood of the rulers seldom flowed legitimately into the blood of the nobility and commoners. Are all but one U.S. president related? America declared its independence from the European monarchies in 1776. How is it possible that every single president has descended from European monarchs? If presidents are democratically elected, as we are told, what are the odds that Americans always choose members of British and French royal bloodlines? The Americas have always been owned and governed by the same royal families of Britain and Europe that conventional history states as being among those defeated during the wars of so-called independence. Michael Sarion, Astrotheology and Sidereal Mythology. If it really is the land of the free, and if it, as is claimed, anyone really can become the president, you would fairly expect that the 43 presidents from George Washington to George W. Bush would express that genetic diversity. You're having a laugh. The presidents of the United States are as much a royal dynasty as anything in Europe, from whence their bloodlines came. David Icke, Tales from the Time Loop. The below video finds a young girl in California who has put together a presidential family tree. 12-year-old Bridge Ann Davignon found that all the presidents but one are related to King John of England through a common ancestor. They are all cousins and all grandsons of John Lackland, King John of England. Bridge Ann told KCOY News. The girl searched more than 500,000 names for months. She started with George Washington, then traced both the male and female family lines to make the connection. Granted, the relationships are sometimes distant 10th or 15th cousins, but in a country with hundreds of millions to choose from, this simply cannot be chance or coincidence. Gary Boyd Roberts, a genealogist at the New York, England Historic Genealogical Society, thoroughly traced these connections in his book, Ancestors of American Presidents. George W. Bush himself is directly related to 16 former U.S. presidents, including George Washington, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, James Garfield, Grover Cleveland, Teddy Roosevelt, William H. Taft, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Richard Nixon, and Gerald Ford. There's a video here. I'm not sure if the link to it is broken, but I will include that in the description box below if it is available. Bush is closely related to the King of Albania and has kinship with every member of the British royal family and the House of Windsor. He's related to 20 British dukes, the 13th cousin of Britain's Queen Mother, and of her daughter, Queen Elizabeth. He is 13th cousin once removed from Prince Charles and has direct descent from King Henry, King Henry III, Charles II, and Edward I of England. Through the House of Windsor and King Henry III, the Bushes and Bill Clinton are genetically related as well. And there's a picture here, guys. Let's see if I can show you that, if it'll get it real clear. I'm gonna still put the link in my description box. So there's that. And there's a reason I wanted to preface this video with that. So with that all being read, I wanted to say, guys, that this is why I don't vote. And there's another link that I will leave you, which shows that Obama's mama was related to this whole line as well. I told my family members that they were making him president when he was made president. I said, if he becomes president, it's because they allowed it. It's because they want it. They made it that way, and that's why it's happening. Nobody believed me, and then he was unable to do anything for us. There are people who work behind the scenes. The presidents don't call no shots. Y'all should have took heed when Omarosa told you that Trump wasn't calling any shots. Trump reads what he's told to say. Trump memorizes, if he can, what he's told to say. You could look at George Bush Jr. and see that you don't have to have any thoughts or intelligence of your own to be president. They told him what to do and say, and he followed suit. Okay? He wasn't intelligent, and boom, there you go. So, my thing is, also, check out the secret architecture of our nation's capital. if you haven't seen that video yet. The point in me making these videos, these two specific, talking about these two specific secret things or secret pieces of information, or that were kept secret for a long time. They are no longer secret. But the point in sharing these two pieces of secret information, or information that was hidden for years, is to let you guys understand that as Black people, African Americans, everything is set up to lean in their favor. The playing field is unlevel. We are set up in America never to succeed. This is why the Most High is saying, come out from amongst them. Whatever you do here, you're only going to do so well, and then it's going to be destroyed.